Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy 2020. It is my first video of the year and I am so excited to be back filming. I actually didn't film anything last week, which was kind of the first official work week back, but I just used it instead to kind of reset and plan for the year ahead and just kind of gather my own thoughts before I plunged into new content. And it was actually last week that inspired this video, and I've already implemented a lot of the things I'm going to talk to you about in today's video, and I have noticed such a difference even after like a week and a half. It's crazy. So I just can't wait to keep them going, and I'm hoping that this video might inspire you as well. I have them all written down here next to me, and yeah, excited to get into this. Okay, so tip number one, do one thing every single week that scares you. Whether it's a class you want to try, an event you want to go to by yourself, take a risk, because if you do that once a week for 52 weeks of the year, you never know what opportunities will come your way. Number two, tidy as you go. Honestly, this is a game changer. If you're in the morning and you can't find something to wear and there's clothes everywhere, and then you leave the room in a mess, when you come home in the evening, it's just not a good vibe to be walking into. So give yourself enough time, whatever you're doing, to tidy as you go. Number three, kind of tying in with that, the 1 minute rule. And what is this? If something takes you 1 minute or less to do, do not put it off until later, until tomorrow, until next week. Just get it done. If it's an email you've been putting off getting back to, but it's literally only going to take you a minute, just get it out of the way. If it's a text you need to reply to, if it's a job around the house, small little things that add up and then as a result give you more spare time. Number four, create a steps challenge. So for me this year, as someone who works from home and sits at a desk a lot of the day, I've created a challenge where I have to do a certain amount of steps every day. And when I do it and I actually accomplish it, I feel so good. It's like the biggest achievement ever. And you don't need a Fitbit. You can just download a free app on your phone. I have one, I think it's called Pedometer or something like that. And it shows you every day, because realistically our phones are with us all the time. And then it shows you each day your steps. And of course, it's a great excuse to get outside, get moving, and that will in turn make you feel better. Number five, when you can, turn your anger into compassion. And what does this mean and why is it important? So just for example, in the work that I do, I obviously am kind of open to hate and, you know, some trolling and some negativity. And in the past, and even last year, I would look at one of those comments sometimes and kind of feel like an anger towards the person that was writing it. But I read this thing which completely changed my mindset, and I intend on bringing it all into 2020. And it's that when you have that feeling and when you're in the moment, instead of feeling anger straight away, very quickly turn it into a feeling of compassion for that person that has said that to you, to your face or in a comment or whatever it is. And it's crazy how that will affect your energy and your mindset and your vibe, because at the end of the day, it's that person that's probably going through something, they're taking it out on you, they're having a tough time. So instead of the anger, feel compassion towards them. Number six, something that we're probably all trying to do this time of the year, and it is go to bed early, wake up early. And these two go hand in hand. At the moment, I'm getting up at 6 o'clock every morning since I got back to New York, and I feel so good. And I actually do want to get it maybe like earlier and earlier, so maybe go to 5:30 and then maybe 5 o'clock, because I personally am a morning person and I do like, I'm much more productive in the morning rather than the night time. And people do ask me how I have the energy to get up, and the answer is I go to bed early. So it kind of is a cycle. So if you get up really early tomorrow morning, you'll be wrecked throughout the day, and you'll kind of just want to go to bed early then tomorrow night. So then in turn, you'll get to bed earlier, and then you'll start waking up earlier, and slowly but surely becomes a cycle and a habit and becomes much easier to keep going. Number seven, regular decluttering. If you're like me as a person and you need your space to be kind of calm and organized in order for your head to be organized, just make it a point. Pick a time every month or every week, or even like mini declutters every day if you have time, and just put the time aside for that. And don't overwhelm yourself. Take section by section. So take 1 hour one of the evenings during the week to just tackle one cabinet or one wardrobe, and then maybe 2 hours on a Saturday. Really break it up and give yourself time, and eventually, like everything that we're talking about in this video, will become a habit and really natural, and you'll be so organized in 2020. Number 8, this habit mightn't exactly be for everyone, but it's definitely something that I'm trying to do this year because I've seen what a good effect it has when I do it, and it's cutting down on alcohol. And I'm in my 20s, I live in New York, there's literally opportunity every night to go out and drinking and eating, but I just found last year I did too much of it, and by the end of the year I was completely burnt out. I was probably the least productive I'd ever been, the least focused. So this year I'm making a big point, sorry, that is my dishwasher beeping, but this year I'm making a big point to just cut it down, limit it. You know, obviously now I don't want to cut it out, but just to be more mindful of when I'm actually doing it. And then habit number 9, which is something that I'm actively working on as well, and it actually has been making a difference, is planning my workout routine in advance. So every Sunday night, without fail, my new routine, it's in my calendar to do it, is to actually look at my week ahead, figure out what days I'm going to do what, whether it's a boxing class, whether I'm going to go to the gym myself, and I physically like put it into my calendar. So I'm not just thinking it in my head, it's actually in my calendar, and it's almost like I have an appointment with myself and I cannot miss it. So give it a go if you're struggling to get into a routine. And then keeping on routine talk, number 10 is getting your morning routine down. So my morning routine, it's broken up to a few parts, so the next couple of habits will incorporate them. So number 10 is every single morning I now meditate. Yes, I am that person. I never thought I would be. I resisted it and resisted it. I thought it was so airy-fairy. I just couldn't understand why people would sit down for 10 minutes or 15 minutes and like sit in silence. But I gotta say, I'm getting into it. I'm still not great at it. I still have to work really hard to kind of keep my mind on track when I'm doing it, whether it's here in my apartment on the app I use or whether I actually go to a class, but I'm getting better. It's becoming part of my routine and I'm seeing results. I'm definitely calmer, I'm more relaxed, I'm kind of handling situations different, and it's something that I'm going to keep going. So if you haven't tried it and if you're like me, give it a go and let me know what you think. And then number 11, also as part of my morning routine, a new addition to it is vitamins and probiotics. So in December, I ended up going to the doctor because all last year, I was so tired, getting sick so often. I really just like didn't feel myself. So in the end, my sister and my mom convinced me to go to the doctor and get my bloods taken, and thankfully I did, because I found out that I was really low in vitamin D, which was more than likely causing all those symptoms. So I was able to get a vitamin D prescription. I'm on that now. I'm already feeling a difference. I'm already feeling so much better, and it's crazy. I didn't even know this. So look into your vitamins, go get your bloods taken, see if you're like deficient in anything, and it really could be a big change, a big like life change for the new year. Then habit number 12, which I've been pretty good at, but I'm even more strict this year. Like straight away I get up in the morning, I go to the bathroom, I brush my teeth, and then I make my bed. Literally the next step. I don't wait till after I have my breakfast or after I work out. I do it before anything else, and it just gives me that kind of sense of I've accomplished something before the day even begins. And the last part of my morning routine, and habit number 13, is I've started to swap out my coffee for green tea first thing in the morning. Now, not all day. I still can't give up coffee. I love it so much. I just love the whole experience of having a coffee. But I said I would try like limiting it to later in the day and just trying green tea in the morning, and so far I've actually seen a really positive result. I have just as much energy, if not more, because I'm not really getting a crash as early in the day. So yeah, I'm going to keep that one going as well. Okay, then number 14, limit your phone time. And we're all guilty of it. We're addicted to these phones in our hands. They're like part of us, and they have obviously lots of pros, but they also have lots of cons. So if you find yourself on them too much, make a conscious decision. Try and block out some time every evening or at the weekend where you put your phone away, and I bet you it'll make a big difference for you. And number 15, kind of tying in with the phone talk, and it's follow people that inspire you. And everyone always talks about unfollowing people you don't like and unfollow. But I kind of want to say to you, like, actively go looking for people that inspire you and follow them, because it will make such a difference to your experience on your phone. So even if you are spending a lot of time on your phone, at least it's positive time on your phone. You could be learning something, like even watching this video, hopefully you might be taking some, like, you know, tips and tricks or new habits you want to try from it. So you're learning, you're helping your own personal growth. So find people you love to follow that inspire you, and it will make your time on your phone a lot more enjoyable. Number 16, make a travel list. Something I do at the start of every single year in my Dream 2020 post. I write down where I want to travel to, and it just sets the ball rolling. I mightn't get to everywhere on my list, but at least it gets me thinking, and travel makes everything better, so it's a good habit to get into. Number 17, a little bit more health talk. Prioritize your appointments. If you're due to get your bloods done, if you're due for a checkup, both doctor, dentist, if you're due for a smear test, prioritize that. Like, make it your point in January to schedule your appointments, and then at least you can go into the year feeling good. And if there was anything to be flagged, at least you're learning now. Honestly, your health is your wealth. Getting into the habit of prioritizing it is absolutely vital. Habit number 18, utilize every little spare minute you have. And we all say we don't have time, we don't have enough time in the day goes so fast, but you'd be surprised when you look at it. There's a lot of pockets of spare time that we do have, whether you're commuting to work, whether you're driving, if you're on the treadmill. And for me, in those spare pockets of time, I love to listen to podcasts. So I have them ready to go. I have my queue of podcasts that I want to listen to every week, and it just makes me feel great after I've done that and used the time. Number 19, healthy eating. I couldn't do this kind of video without putting something to do with food and healthiness in here. And I'm not gonna give any lectures like everyone and their mother is talking about being healthy and healthy eating in the new year. But I will say for me, I've made some small changes. I've bought a soup maker. I now make soup every second or third day. I've started to schedule in time to go do my food shopping, which I'm sure lots of you do, but I was really bad for that last year. I would put it off, and then I would have nothing in the apartment and order something and be unhealthy. So I've scheduled in time for that. And also I've started ingredient prepping, not meal prepping, because that just bores the life out of me. I can't eat the same thing for like 4 days in a row. I don't know how people do that. But instead I do ingredient prepping. So I'll make a big batch of quinoa on a Sunday, a big batch of like sweet potato, I'll do soup, I'll do roasted vegetables, and then at least throughout the week it kind of speeds up the cooking time, and I'm able to add in some fresh bits at the same time. So I've been loving that and really recommend it. And then last but not least, kind of a random point to end on, but habit number 20 that I urge everyone to get into as well is limit your gossiping about people, you're talking about people. And I know as women and even men as well, you know, it's every now and again it's good to have a rant to your friend or whatever you need, but just be conscious of what you're talking about when you're with other people, and just always try and keep it positive. Like, be kind. And I do think even for me, when I'm kind about people and with my friends and stuff, like that rubs off on you and it kind of brings like good karma back to you. So just be conscious of that throughout the year, get in a good habit, and you'll definitely see a difference. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. I tried to keep it as brief as possible, but I loved the idea of doing 20 habits for 2020, and I hope that they inspired you. I hope you took something away from it, even just one habit or 3 or 5, however many you want to maybe even like attempt to start doing, and hopefully they make a difference for you. So I will leave it here. My new schedule is videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and I'm actually going to talk about this more in Sunday's video, which will be a vlog. So keep an eye out for that. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.